So we started the night talking about the 2003 U.S. Open title won by Andy Roddick, and he had just turned 21 at the time, now 28. He is simply playing for majors. Patrick said, and Patrick knows quite well, Andy's going to go back. He's very stubborn. He's going to put in the work, give himself his best shot. But will he win a major again playing the way he played tonight?
No, not playing like that. You know, I think we could probably cut him some break and say that conditions were tough, it was really heavy, but truth be told, that's the type of tennis he's played throughout the entire Australian Open, even during the day. And I would love for Andy to go back and pull the tape from last year when he played Marin Cilic. He lost that match, but he had a shoulder injury. But the way he played from the back of the court I thought was inspiring, considering he was injured. He let it fly. He was aggressive. He was taking serves early, moving to the net. He flattened out his forehand, but he had no choice in that match. I wish he would have a look at that tape, because that's the type of tennis that gives him a chance in the majors. And that's why we love Andy. It's because he's not just playing to be ranked 6, 8, 10 in the world. He's playing for the majors. And if he played that type of tennis with the serve that he has, definitely has a chance, but not playing that type of tennis.
Or like the type of tennis we saw last March. And
exactly.
As you said, he just was cracking it.
Yep.
Patrick, let's bring you back in along with Chris, and I'm sure you agree with Darren. He needs to go back and tweak a few things.
Well, I agree with Darren, but I have a slight bone to pick with Darren, and it's about Roddick. And I think the problem may be that Roddick, to some extent, is content with being 6 or 8 or 10. And I think therein lies the rub, because I think if he believes that he does try to play that aggressive style, Darren, which I've been saying he should do for years, which you obviously think he should do a little more of, I think in his mind, he may think that he'll drop to 18 or 22 or something like that, and that he won't win the matches that he should win. But in my opinion now, there's going to be a lot less matches that he can and should win playing that style. But I do think that that's something that's in Andy's head, and he is very much a competitor, and so he doesn't like the idea of going out there against people that he knows he could beat playing one style and try to play another style. And I think that's it is going to be a tough couple of weeks for Andy to sort of digest all this and then figure out what to do, if to do anything differently.
Yeah, but to get past the Knitsons and the Haasses and guys like that in the first week of majors, I mean, he knows he can do that. I mean, you content to do that and then get dismissed now by the first serious player you come up against? My
point is that somewhere in his mind, I think he thinks that if he plays a more aggressive style and takes more chance, that he might lose to a Knutson or a Haase or somebody like that. And the problem is that all these guys are just getting better. And even I mean, this guy tonight, Wawrinka, who's played above his ranking, but he's not a top 5 player.
No.
And maybe he's somewhere in the 10 to 15 area, but he just completely outclassed Andy tonight. I mean, Andy had no chance in this match.
And the opponent wouldn't have made a huge difference, whether it's a Berdych playing the way he is, Soderling, Djokovic, Nadal, Federer. There's a growing list of guys who can lay beatdowns on Roddick like that. That's the problem.
No, I agree. And I mean, to Darren's point is spot on, that the conditions here are difficult. It has slowed down here over the years, and at night it makes it a bit more difficult for Andy to win those cheap points. But I think you asked me, if you have a big serve, shouldn't you be able to hit a big forehand? Yes, you should, and he can. But I don't think I know Andy goes back and does the work and does the running and the fitness and all that. But what I don't see him doing the work where it's on the court and you're actually practicing playing a different way, because obviously you can't just go out in a match and all of a sudden play differently. You've got to put the work in on the court, on the practice court, and I just don't see that he's been doing that.
You're working hard, but not working smart in your opinion.
Not working differently.
Right,
not working in a way to say, okay, here's what's happening. I'm getting a little bit older. The conditions have slowed down. The players have caught up. The game is evolving. I got fitter. I got leaner. But now what else do I have to do? I can't just go back and hit the track and work hard. I've got to do some other things. And I think Darren, I mean, you spent a lot of time working with Andre Agassi, who was obviously a much better ball striker but he adjusted and he tinkered and he did those things late in his career. And to me, there's just a lot of question marks right now for Andy and for what he has to do.
No, I think he can do it. He just needs to take a few risks. There's no question he can do it when you have those weapons that he has. And for a guy like him who moves as well as he does, a lot of that movement is wasted around the court. And when you look at the stats of the game, 17 service games from Stan Wawrinka, and he only won 15 points on the returner serve. We can go through just about every single stat, and every stat was horrific for Andy in that match, and it certainly wasn't a good match for him. But he can definitely do it. Tonight, he didn't problem solve at all tonight. It's like that little internal computer that goes over in your head. The good players, they work out ways to problem solve. There was no bang in the second serve. There was no serve and volley to get this dumpy little chip return that Stan hits. There's no way Roger Federer is going to let him get away with that. He's going to mix in the serve and volley and make Stan go for returns that he's not comfortable playing. So that internal computer that all the good players have, it wasn't there for Andy tonight.